2, 1, and action. Hello, this is Johnathan Mull with Mardy Coe, living large at Mardy Coe's. Thank you for joining us, folks, for our Easter edition, April 17th, 2022. And now, presenting the man who thought that having holes in his pants made him a holy person on Easter, Mardy Coe.
We have multicolored eggs for the Easter egg hunt.
Oh yes, wait, actually, Markham, can you get me that bag over there?
God's sakes.
Easter egg, I brought one for you.
No.
It's okay,
No, we're not going to do that.
You don't have to. I got it for you. No, it's more like a dreidel.
God's sakes, John, you're sick. You're sick.
This is the Easter edition.
Poison could catch a cold.
Now watch. I brought this little treat. It's a gift for our host, Mardy Coe. So take a look at that.
No.
What you're going to do is, I'll show you how it works. I got this from the guy on Times Square that was selling these. I thought it was really cool. It's like, if you didn't know what it is, you might think it's like a weapon or something. I don't know. What is it? It's got buttons on it. It kind of looks like a little bomb or something, right? And then, so
Why'd they ever allow him to Times Square with that?
Now watch this. So we have this handle. We pop it right in here. Wind it up. Okay, right?
Victim's kind of like conspiracy from the left. Yeah, I think
This is
I'll hypnotize the
no batteries needed.
hypnotize the proletariat.
Just do that.
So no batteries is kind of cool. Put it up there. That's all right. No, that's all right. No, put it up here because then you can see it. We'll fish that out later. Very cute, John.
You didn't like it.
No, I loved it. I'm actually, my nipples are getting hard.
Wait, where do you get these cigars?
Martinez.
Wow.
Martinez.
Oh, they even give you matches.
They give us matches.
That's very cool.
And they actually roll, you can watch these guys roll cigars. They actually rolled them there in the store.
Oh, wow. Right on West 29th Street.
Yeah, next to 7th Avenue.
We're having some Courvoisier tradition.
Right.
I
always like to say that God is no joke.
So let me ask you a question. On the promo, you say you're the man in the art world to change modern art forever.
You said that. I didn't say that.
Well, that's what the press is saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I do the editing on the show, so
right.
Folks know. But any thoughts?
Leon Clayman said that about him. I'm very proud of him.
Now he was with the Museum of Modern Art, from what I understand.
Yeah, one of the museums that he has
among others
had an exhibit at was MOMA, but he's had exhibits all over the world in famous museums.
Right.
In my mind, he's the most respected opinion on fine art in the whole world.
And what did he say about your work? I mean, he actually came up here
He came up here with this character named Frank, who unfortunately is a Jekyll and Hyde alcoholic. He was a big fan of my paintings, just huge fan.
Wow.
And which is why he was able to get him up here, because he spoke so highly of my paintings, he had to come up. After viewing about 40 pieces, Leon said, what he said is just it's too much to even say because it's unbelievable. And in my own demented universe, all my paintings are great masterpieces, you know. But Leon outdoes me. So the compliment I got from Leon was staggering. Unfortunately, I didn't have it on tape.
What did he actually say?
He said, I hate to say it because I know I'm going to get locked up. No one's going to believe me, but I don't know why he said it because I thought my paintings were good, you know, but
yeah,
nothing like that. I don't know why he said it, but he said that your paintings are going to stand the art world on its ear and change it forever.
Wow, that's huge.
And
this is a guy who at that time was a pretty big deal.
No,
right?
he was huge.
Yeah.
Huge guy. And
I've been trying to find out where he is, and I haven't been able to get...
I think he's dead now. He was about 78 when maybe late 70s when he visited me in 2013.
Leon Clayman.
Then he said, I'm pricing your paintings at $100,000, and I'm basically an unknown artist, so that's a tremendous price. Average painting, $100,000. He says, I recommend that you exhibit in Paris because the French will love you. No idea why he said that. And then he said, if one sells, they'll all sell immediately.
Wow, what amazing.
So I actually remember everything he said, which is amazing that I remember it because I have a terrible memory. But I remembered that.
Yeah. That piece behind you right there is kind of French reminiscent, isn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't actually get to show him that. I only showed him about 40 paintings. You know, he saw a lot of the stuff in this room, but not that one. I don't think I ever got around to it. Unfortunately, he had to leave. I was very, upset that I couldn't show him all my paintings.
Right.
At the time, I probably had maybe 80.
Wow.
Now I've got about 150. But he definitely inspired me. I was motivated after he left, to paint. Definitely gave me some inspiration. And then before he left, I gave him my phone number.
Right.
And Frank freaked out.
Frank is the guy who brought him.
The guy that brought him,
yeah.
Frank freaks out, starts accusing everyone of stealing his commission.
Oh, wow.
And everybody, Leon was completely offended. Before he said that, Leon said, I'm going to come back and photograph your work. That was really great, but the irony is that I've been plagiarized before that in 2008.
Yeah.
And not only was I plagiarized, I saw my own painting hanging in a window in a big gallery in Soho. The duplicate of my painting, but enlarged.
Wow, that is wild.
And I had another guy I was supposed to work with who said, I saw your painting in a show. This painting here, that painting there.
The one with the chessboard? Or the thumb?
This one here.
Oh, let's show that to the audience.
This painting here, I originated this.
See it in the camera. Okay, there you go.
And he said, I saw that painting in an art show like last week.
Wait, let me turn the light on a little bit. There we go. Wow. The girls... And
I don't know if I can get that.
It's heavy. It's very heavy. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, you can see it. Just hold it right there. It's fine. There we go. All right, so tell us about it.
So this is incidentally divinely inspired.
Well, you can keep it up. Just keep keeping the shot. And you want to tell us about it?
And
it's a great piece. I mean, it's not very big, but it really does speak to me.
It was when the guy who stole it from me made it much bigger. Which is, they always do that. When they steal my design, they make it huge.
What do you call her?
It's the gift.
She's all wrapped up
in ribbon.
I see. Wow.
Yeah.
And why is the face different than the body in a way? The face looks like it's more like a mask
The
or
face
something.
was actually a little miracle, which was amazing. It's hard to explain how the face came about, but I'm very metaphysical, spiritual kind of mystic kind of a character. And I took a flat brush, about a 1-inch brush, and loaded it with paint and put it on where her face should be, and imagined the face would come out magically under the brush. Oh, this is a crazy fucking guy.
Look at this face.
Yeah.
It almost looks like it's something from Egypt or something.
It's a great face, right?
Yeah, it looks like these ancient women coming out of a crypt or something from, like the Egyptian sarcophagus or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So I did this.
That's very cool.
It was like a god brush I pulled out.
Right.
And I laid the brush flat where her face should be, just like that, and kind of moved it around a little bit. And then lifted it up, and the face was there.
What?
And all I did was, then I darkened.
The face with the lips and everything?
Yes, everything was there, but I had to darken certain spots with a brush.
I
went over it. The face was there.
It painted itself or something.
It painted itself.
I don't believe that's crazy.
Well, it was a divinely inspired piece in the first place, so
yeah.
I decided, if God's in it, He's in it. He's in it for the whole run.
Can you let me take a look at that for a second. I just want to see the detail on this piece.
Anyway, so it got plagiarized in 2008.
Yeah.
This guy sees it in a gallery opening, which I never even went to see it. And he says, "You're a plagiarist." Not only did I get the painting stolen from me, I get accused of being the plagiarist.
Oh my God. That's worst nightmare.
Yeah. Talk about insult to injury.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So whoever stole this painting from me, a pox on your house. You expletive deleted. I'm not going to be, vulgar because, I have.
Well, the original is here.
That's the original.
This is the original. This is the real deal. So
now this same idea, I eventually did huge. That was supposed to be a black woman.
Yeah, there's a bigger one in your kitchen.
Which is a black woman, and I didn't do it. I did it sort of half black and half brown kind of thing the first time. Because I was trying to think, how am I going to do black? And I didn't come up with a formula for that until I did the big one in the kitchen. So that's what happened.
Is it similar to this?
It's the same idea. Call it The Gift. I named it. It didn't come with a name. And in my twilight, which I get half of my ideas from, my inspirations come from the other side in my dementia. So I named it The Gift because to me, it was like a painting of Eve as a gift to mankind. Well, yeah, God's gift to man is woman. And of course, that's something that God would say. I didn't come up with it. Yeah. I didn't come up with the painting. I came up with the title, but it was kind of obvious, because he's wrapped in a ribbon. So things in a ribbon are gifts, Yeah.
Now the ribbon, is there any significance to the color you chose for the ribbon?
That was in the dream. That was in the dream.
The green ribbon.
It was a green ribbon. Yeah. Everything was very similar, in the dream, except it was a black woman, and this is not a black woman. This is more like, she looks like she's from India or something, Anyways, it was plagiarized, and I think I sent a whole bunch of pieces off in 2008 to Krasner Pollock Foundation to get a grant, chortle, with no juice, that I have no juice. Everything was rejected. And at the same time, my work was all rejected.
So sorry to hear that.
And they said, this is a very competitive situation. Letter back.
What?
Yeah, that's what they said. And
they didn't say thank you for...
Well, I think they probably thanked me, but it's a very competitive situation. Blah, blah, blah.
We've made our decision to go with somebody else,
and
kind of thing.
I guess the guy at the front desk was the guy that stole all my ideas and did a showdown in Soho.
Wow, oh, that's so dirty. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, so,
Well, at that age, it's like, art student. He's got no original ideas yet, If he ever does, this guy, I think he'll never have an original idea because he's cursed. I ended up the plagiarist of my own work. Accused of being a plagiarist. And a deal fell through because of that. I had a deal on the table with another artist who was doing with this guy who called me a plagiarist.
So you originate, they copy, they get the show because they got the juice.
Right.
They're all on the inside track.
Plagiarist.
And now you're the plagiarist. So you're outside in the cold, walking down the street.
Literally.
Really? Literally walking down the street. Yeah. And you're seeing this.
That time I was very down around 08, very down.
Wow.
Just barely getting by,
This was like a Chelsea gallery or something?
This
Probably
was
Chelsea.
some in Soho.
Oh, Soho. Okay.
Somewhere in Soho, and I'm stumbling by this place at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
I do this big hike, and I'm really in a very broke situation. No money's coming in. And I stumble by this gallery, and it's closed down, but the front window is lit.
Right.
And there's my painting.
Oh my God.
In the window.
Oh, wow.
It's not this painting. It's that painting that I've shown you where it's the painting of a sort of like a jigsaw puzzle turned into an abstract.
Yeah.
That's the painting.
Let's show that to the audience right now.
They just kept the abstract part. They took out a woman in a vase that I had in there.
What was the name of the piece? Do you remember?
I think it was Untitled. It was a jigsaw theme.
What can you tell us about the painting?
Well, I got it from the other side. It was a divinely inspired piece.
Yeah.
And I just had to do it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And the only thing I changed on, I think it was, I actually think it came from Gauguin. Actually sent it to me because...
From the spirit world.
Yeah, from the other side.
The other side. You don't call it spirit world. You just say the other side. It's
the other side, heaven, whatever you want to call it.
So, do you think...
I think it was Gauguin who sent it to me.
Yeah.
Because his Gorgile was in the painting, which I didn't keep. I turned it into a woman instead, and I changed that. I was going to do it, and I was doing the Gorgile, and it turned out to be a woman. I said, well, I'll just leave it for a woman. Mm-hmm. And then I embellished that. But it's pretty cool as a woman. It's like a very native kind of woman sitting on her haunches. So there I'm looking at my painting. It's larger. It's like 2 or 3 times the size of my piece. Mm-hmm. In the window of this big gallery in Soho. 4:30 in the morning. I didn't do anything about it. Not a damn thing.
What could you do?
I could have walked in the gallery with my painting.
Huh. Now, that would have caused a commotion.
I really regret not doing that.
Cheers to your music and your art. Love to hear some more of it. And
I'll play it too.
We'll treat for the folks here. That's great. No, this is really a lot of fun. I really appreciate this.
Me and George Burns. Everybody says, please don't play anything.
He likes cigars too. He was a big cigar guy, right?
Big
George
time.
Burns.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I ever saw a picture of him without a cigar in his mouth.
Never. Oh, God. I've got laryngitis yesterday. I don't know if I can sing or not. You could find my home. On a street called on your knees. Heartbreak Hotel on a stray they call town without pity. I'm living on the edge of time. Drive City. It's in a state of mind in a country called crying in a world of shame in a space. Called forgotten. It's in the state of mind in a country called forgotten. Where the boots are on hills and the people are Let all these people get in my room.
Give me your thoughts about Passover and Easter.
Well, you can't resurrect yourself just by taking Viagra. Easter is the resurrection of Christ. When I think of that, I think of what I consider the greatest artifact in the history of the world, which is the Shroud of Turin, which was the shroud covering Jesus when they took him off the cross and buried him.
Yes, yes.
Well, they put him in not buried him in underground, they put him in a mausoleum kind of thing, like a cave. And 3 days later, he resurrected.
Yes.
Which is, one of those stories that everybody laughs about. Well, the atheists, yeah. Right.
Oh.
So the thing that's really weird about this Shroud of Turin is that if we ever get scientifically advanced enough, we'll realize that is proof of resurrection, the shroud.
Wow. Okay.
They've actually done it already. They've actually proven resurrection from the shroud.
They've done some scientific research.
They've done a lot of scientific stuff. They made some mistakes on it.
Okay.
Because about 1,000 years ago, it was being held somewhere in Europe, and there was a fire, which is one of those things you say, yeah, Satan would love to have this shroud destroyed. There was a fire, and the shroud was damaged in the fire. And it was folded in this box, and it has certain edges were burned. And after that, the nuns sewed it back together. So what that did was, when you're talking about dating the piece, the new pieces put in 1,000 years ago were different than the original material.
From the burning.
Because it was burned, so they put new material.
Oh, that was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, and so when they did the dating on it,
I think they call it carbon dating.
Carbon dating. They carbon dated it.
Carbon dating.
They mistakenly took the material that was new only 1,000 years ago.
Oh my Lord.
And dated that. Say, oh, it's a fake. It's a fake.
Oh.
So they made a mistake on that one.
Oh.
But they did some more, and they found out, no, it's exactly 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they can date from pollen in the material.
Oh.
Pollen is a very amazing dating material because each year the pollen changes.
Oh.
And each
area
of the world has a different pollen. Even if it's from the same plant.
Yeah.
So the pollen from ancient Israel during the time of Jesus had a certain earmark to it, which matched the shroud's pollen.
Unbelievable. That is amazing.
And the material itself, which was a certain weave, a herringbone weave, and the material they used came from that area at that time. Okay?
That sounds irrefutable.
Right. Now, the blood on the shroud.
Jesus' blood.
Jesus' blood.
Right.
They said it can't be real because it's not black. When blood gets old, it turns black. The blood was still reddish.
Huh.
And then they finally figured out that when a man is tortured to death, this is so extraordinary. It's hard for me to even say this without bursting into tears. The blood doesn't turn black from a tortured person. The blood's character somehow changes. And this is a known forensic fact. The blood never turns black when a person is tortured to death.
Revelation right there. Wow.
And it goes on and on and on with more facts.
Yeah.
They can't figure out how the image got there, which is another amazing fact because we would not be able to see the image until photography was invented.
Okay.
It took photography to shoot a picture of the shroud and then see the negative which shows the image.
Oh, it's in the negative.
It's only on the negative. Other than that, the shroud itself has an image that's very mute. You can barely see anything.
Fascinating.
Except the blood stains and so forth.
Absolutely fascinating.
But for it to, the real image, when you see the image of the shroud, which is extraordinarily clear, that image.
I never knew that.
That image can only be seen through a negative photograph. So it's like, you know, I see the hand of God in this, you know, that he did all this, and you couldn't tell until our time.
Right. Our time was.
Yeah, it was hidden. The image of the shroud was completely hidden until a photographer was invented. God knew that, and he had all this, you know, planned out.
Right.
It's all by design. And there are many other factors that in the shroud, like how the image got there. They have no idea how the image got there. They try to say, oh, it's fake, it was painted on, but they examine, there's no paint in the shroud. The only explanation that makes any sense, if you call it that, is that when Christ was resurrected, a light came out of his body and acted as a photographic agent onto the oily shroud. And this is the only explanation.
It's like a photosynthesis effect.
Yeah. And
he photosynthesized
a very
the
powerful
shroud.
light
Yeah.
created that, and it's also done in 3 dimensions. It's not a 2-dimensional image. No, it's more 3-dimensional because the shroud covered him, you know, in a wrapping kind of thing. So they're able to take that and figure out many views of what the face and body looks like. The Shroud of Turin is the most upsetting thing in the world to the typical atheist. Happy Easter.
Oh, wow. This is a nice rabbit. Hello, Mr. Rabbit.
I found this guy on the sidewalk. He was kind of like beat up and stuff, and
Yeah.
he was badly injured.
What does that say there?
And I
Oh,
saved
Radio City Music Hall. Easter Show 93.
93.
Yeah, Mr. Rabbit.
I liked him, so I saved him.
Wow.
He was headed for the city dump.
He's really sharp. Very sharply dressed.
Yeah, he's very nice. I repainted him, and I took it apart, put it back together, and did my paper mache thing with him.
Okay, cool.